before we get down to business?
Very well.
This gateway over here is actually to a location known as Champion's Isle. It is only accessible by champions. They are the ones who were chosen by the person who created this place to assist in a task that is largely related to what happened at Malta's Palace.
I see.
This place has certainly got its fair share of wildlife.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Very different.
To prepare you and your group, this here is a dragon pulse. How it is utilized is simply by carrying you on the wind to the other location. Heaven's Reach is a collection of, well, as you can see, floating islands. So, to traverse to certain islands, you must utilize the dragon pulse. It's perfectly safe, so just, I hope you don't have motion sickness. I'm not quite sure about your compatriots.
I do not. They will be fine.
Good.
I'm sure anything's better than flying in that lat. I don't like how close that thing's getting to us.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I just
Best to
yelled
stand aside.
Keep it moving.
Construct of some sort of serious. That's what they meant.
This is Arena Isle. It is where in the world we train our champions and people to assist in fighting the entities that happen to appear at your place.
We don't want to go down there.
The gateway over on the right, over there, would be a specialized training area. Traversing it is not simple though, so I won't be taking you in there, but it is effectively our various specialized training grounds for our people. Ah, good. My personal entourage is appearing. I'll give them some time to come over here. The area directly across from us, that is what is known as the Heart. It is a sacred place that few are allowed to enter.
I see.
This place certainly is built more on the mystical side of things.
I've been informed by someone that you have a history with them.
Hello, Miss Q.
Hello, Zarkon.
I have returned.
We have our guests
Interesting.
here. These are
This unit is
individuals
comprised entirely
who-
of enigmatic metals.
Guests
Yours.
are here. Welcome.
Hello. My name is IG-22. It is good to meet you.
Ah, pleasure to meet you. Name is Zarkon.
I see.
What I was actually mentioning before might help explain a little bit as to why the unique properties of a friend here. I believe, or rather I was told by him, a certain David Seven has a history with you.
This is true. Is this why this particular unit codenamed Zarkon is comprised of these materials?
Yes, you could call him David's partner. They have each other's back.
That is correct.
Interesting. So David has designed you then?
No. We met and became good friends.
As you can see, David has evolved a bit more, and thus, Zarkon is a piece of him, but also a piece of he.
Most interesting.
Unfortunately, he is away at this moment, which is why I'm glad Mr. Zarkon is here, so that way you can apprise David when he returns.
I'm looking forward to that. I had a long talk with Corvus.
Good. That being said, allow us to proceed back to the main aisle, and then I can take you up to beside the tea house, where access to our meeting room will be.
Very well.
Curious indeed.
Proceed.
My bud? That does not feel very pleasant.
Circuits are going to be scrambled inside out by the end of this.
A curious question I have for you. I was told that, well, the location, Kraton, largely doesn't have an organized government, but many people within its territory consider you the de facto leader. Is this correct?
Negative. The Shriekhawks seeks Kraton as an opportunity. Kraton is effectively a lawless country. This is correct. However, we have not been able to consume the large bits of the colonies. At the moment, we have managed to requiesce a set of colonies within the area. However, Kraton is still a lawless land. The Shriekhawks is seeking to establish a unified governmental structure within its lawless land to help with unifying the locals within the area.
Ah, I see. I appreciate this little bit of context, namely because of the fact that, word has reached our ears that the events that have happened there may still have gotten to the civilian populace. So, maintaining control over that information might be important.
I suppose further context will be provided during our official meeting within your meeting room.
Indeed. If you come, we can expedite that process. Right, this way through the Dragon Pulse you see ahead of you.
Another one then.
If you do not mind your soldiers being a part of the meeting, then they are welcome to join. However, I will leave that discretion up to you.
I believe this will be informative for them as it will for me.
Very well then. I will forewarn you. The visuals will change after proceeding across a certain threshold. Do not be alarmed.
We shall see then. Oh, my optics. Oh, my.
Most interesting.
Give me the creeps.
Oh, come on.
I agree. Come on in. Oh, come on. That's about the wild.
Illusory magics. Such is the way of mystics.
May I?
Feel free. You can sit as close as you desire.
Glad to know of it. Okay. Okay, to make that's something that's half circle on the front of the table. Half circle around the front of the
Whatever happened to a good old, hollow table? There's nothing wrong with them.
This is a very different place, soldiers.
As nice as a hollow table would be, we do not exactly have a place for electricity to be produced, unfortunately. So,
Oh, that's the easy part. Tiny battery, fit the palm of your hands.
fair enough.
Let them continue.
Nah.
Tingard.
So, first thing is first, before I go into any details. The entity that was called forth at your palace was orchestrated by an individual that goes by a pseudonym of Raven. They have a wide brim hat and a crow-like mask upon their face. They had mentioned that they wanted to speak with you before meeting with me. Have you encountered someone like this before?
This is correct. According to the information I have been provided, they wish to speak with me directly. However, as to countering them, I am very confused as to how they had gotten information as to my whereabouts. I could imagine the possibilities as to my link with David has something to do with that information.
Most likely, at that point. The reason why that was important to ask is because these individuals are who, well, for lack of a better term, attacked your place. You see, what happened to be summoned is what we refer to as a warning. These warnings are entities summoned forth by a cosmic power, magic. They are largely summoned in response to what we refer to as a cognito hazard. Information that is unsafe to be aware of. This information happens to be due to a situation that happened a couple years back, in which a wish was made, so to speak, and this information was wiped away. These warnings are sent out by this wish to stop people from looking into this information. this Raven individual handed one of your bartenders something to read aloud, which contained a cognito hazard. And when they did that, so forth did the warnings come.
Data logs state that this wish related to this tower had left several years ago.
Indeed. It was under a belief that time had run out. This tower traverses realities. Every 20 years, it looks for champions in order to climb it, to achieve the wish. Apparently, this wish had altered people's memories of events that had happened around that time, and made them believe that the tower had left of its own volition. We now believe that the usage of the wish in an illegal state, in other words, an individual who is not allowed to utilize the wish, is what is the cause of all the issues. The wish is unstable, and thus it must utilize these warnings in order to disrupt any attempts to looking into information.
Most interesting.
These warnings that are summoned cannot be harnessed in any capacity. They seek purely to disrupt and destroy.
That was made very clear considering the damages to the establishment.
And these Ravens are seeking to utilize them for just that reason. Almost like terrorism. Purposely having people summon them forth in order to disrupt areas. Maldus Palace is not the first place to be hit of an attack like this. A sister city to Zafira has also seen attacks. We have a reason to believe there could be even more out there that these Ravens are disrupting for purposes we do not know.
This is unfortunate.
It is. And with every summon, they get stronger and disrupt the natural order of the grand cosmos. Entire realities, universes, have become dead and desolate due to the appearance of these clocks. Clock is referring to the visuals that happen at the beginning of one of these warnings appearing. It is the colloquial term that individuals here have given them. A clock will appear, reversing in flow of time before a bright light and the entity appearing. Master Zarkon here is actually an entity that is at times summoned. While it is not himself, but merely a recreation, it is just as deadly and dangerous.
Very unfortunate.
I actually believe that if you were to review the footage of the attack, if you have any of it, you will see that one of the entities that was called forth looked identical to him.
I was going to get to that, actually, but you had already answered my question.
I prefer to be frank with people. I believe it is the first step to building trust, is to be honest.
Very true.
I do believe that you were correct in your idea. I believe that your history with David may have led these ravens to your location. Perhaps to learn more about the composition of you and your kind.
So what comes next? Are we to simply keep quiet of this situation? I would imagine so. However, there is always the unfortunate leak that can occur at any particular point in time, based off of information hazards.
This is true. As much as we would like to keep this cognito hazard under wraps, slip-ups are bound to happen. That being said, we would like to establish an open communication between you and here, that should anything occur, you can relay information to us so that way we can respond accordingly. I understand that you do not control a vast majority of Grayton, but you are at the heart of the most recent attack, and probably the easiest to convey information. If I'm not mistaken, one of the individuals who is a worker at your establishment, a Wayne. This is correct.
He is listed as an employee, yes.
Yes. Master Wayne actually comes here and is a part of what we refer to as the Vanguard. They are individuals who assist champions in their expedition. I can see him, if necessary, to be a formal liaison between our people.
Data logs suggest that Wayne has not showed up for duty in a very, very long time.
This is correct. He's merely registered on the list of employees. His activity has been next to none.
I see.
However,
This is unfortunate.
I have noticed they have shown up at the palace from time to time as of late, including the champion Nomad.
You're aware of him,
This is correct.
and his status as a champion.
This is correct. David had informed me of a lot of information during our time together in the past.
I see. I guess this is to be expected, considering that he was involved with the tower. Most likely before you lost contact with him. I was told that he has not contacted you in quite some time.
He has not shown up for his routine checkups in quite a while.
I am aware that the individuals Roderick and Fable are also related to you. Is that correct?
This is correct.
Do they have any formal relations with you?
They do. Roderick and Fable had also undergone similar procedures to that of David. However, their evolution cycle has differed.
My main curiosity is because I know their positions as individuals in Dragonspire are, I believe, somewhat related to security. And this is another point to be made, that we have an alliance with Dragonspire Keep. the location in which you entered in order to find this door to get here. I mainly bring this up as a point in order to show that there are individuals who you know who you could possibly get a second opinion from, should you so desire.
I see. However, I can imagine it would not be wise to have that particular conversation outside of these walls. Would that be correct?
So long as it doesn't pertain to information that was wiped away, which I have left largely out of this conversation on purpose.
Is there some
It should
information
not
I
cause
can
an
be
issue.
provided that I will know of that would avoid causing these attacks to occur? Certain phrases and things of that nature that perhaps were left out of the letter that was provided to us at the palace.
The most poignant one out of what was provided is the name of a faction. I remember hearing it, and that was when I realized what was going on. I did not realize what was really truly happening there until that moment, because we had yet to actually uncover how these ravens were going about calling forth the warnings. As we knew, they could not do it themselves. And now we know that they've been providing cognito hazard to other individuals in order to cause it. This faction, the name is Black Ram. At its utterance, a warning will be summoned, as you saw. This being said, this name is the most dangerous of the cognito hazard at this point. That you have information in your possession already. Even active thoughts without verbalization have a chance of conjuring forth these clocks as well.
I see. However, that is not what I had asked, but I appreciate the information. I was curious if you could provide me with a
Then
set
I
of
must have
I was curious if you could provide me with a set of details, such as phrases that would be stated besides that were provided within the letter, that I would be made aware of.
Oh, besides of what was in the letter. One of the most significant is that this particular group is using the phrase "for the crow." They aren't specifically... We don't have any idea of if this is simply just a mantra that they're using, a calling card, or if it has some form of power amongst itself, though we doubt it does. But should that phrase ever be seen or come across, that is sign that the renegade ravens are about.
I see. And these are the biggest info hazard phrases.
That is as publicly common knowledge, yes. The majority of other phrases are unlikely to be brought up. Sorry, I'm simply going over the information in my head just to be sure that I ain't leaving anything out.
Permission to make an inquiry. Would you have any idea why exactly these ravens would suddenly decide to attack the establishment if they are trying to make contact with Mr. Raji? That seems contradictory.
The phrase that they said to me before they initiated attack was that they had wanted to speak with IG-22, but that someone more interesting was now in front of them, that person being me. I know that visual data might not be sufficient, but as it stands, I am a shapeshifter, and I was there. They were aware that I have relations to this place, and they have ever wanted to force their way in here by any means necessary, it seems, as well as harass anyone who is directly connected to this place. However, they are largely unaware of visual appearances beyond, well, certain individuals.
So your mere presence superseded whatever goals they had in speaking.
There are a set of ravens that we consider enemies.
To provide a little bit more context, there are ravens that are subservient to the tower. However, due to the disruptions caused by recent events, the ravens within the tower have become fractured, and power has been redistributed. And there currently now resides a group of ravens whose sole objective seems to simply be to sow chaos.
I see. This is unfortunate.
Which is why I wanted to speak with you personally and privately. The reality of everything. Oh goodness. The reality of everything that's going on requires us to create a certain level of alliances and the ability to work together with other people.
So, continuing
Well,
on to the issue at hand, you had mentioned we would be provided a form of communication.
Indeed. This particular crystal provides a direct connection to myself. You can relay any information or inquiries through it to me directly, and I will pass along that information to everyone else. Should you also wish to have me come to you, I can do the same. I possess a smaller artifact that can protect from the info hazards, though it is not a direct protection. It requires summoning to have been completed, but utilizing this relic, I can disperse it. I was able to do so twice at your location.
Very well. So if an issue does occur, I will make use of you, and let you know that there is an attack occurring on one of my colonies.
This would be preferable. We also would appreciate that.
To tell. By seeing Champion Nomad around, you can see that we're taking our duty very seriously over here.
I see.
Indeed.
So you had planned to champion Nomad as a means of protection.
We had provided him as a means of surveillance. should something occur. Ever since it happened, we wanted to ensure that we had someone have eyes there before we had a formal meeting, just in case anything did slip up. I have been informed that most of the individuals, if not all, of your establishment that work for you have been mum on the subject. That it's always been those who are of the civilian populace who have made any mention of it.
As far as we know, this is correct. However, the EMT troopers are harder to keep track of than my more traditional units. They are more human, in which case I am incapable of fully comprehending every conversation that they have with one another. There is always a possibility something, unfortunately, has already leaked. But we are trying to keep that quiet as best we can.
Yes, precautions have already been taken thus far. Any mention of this that is found out will be met with punishment, assuming it does not create one of these entities in the immediate aftermath.
It is something to be noted that, due to the nature of the cognito hazard, sometimes these things will take time to form in locations. There is a good chance that if a information slip-up has happened, one is already starting to form. Being able to detect this is very subtle and difficult. However, they require a significant amount of energy in order to manifest, and due to that fact, well, we must always be vigilant, for lack of a better term. That being said, I would like to try to keep as much individuals who you are aware are affiliated from here. We know that some of the Ravens do not know the appearance of certain individuals. Whether or not they know the appearance of Nomad, I'm not quite certain. I'm also not certain what appearance he is taking while he is around. We have advised that individuals who do choose to be reconnaissance in a way of saying, utilize disguises in some fashion. If this could be upheld on your side and them not be pointed out, that would be great. Lest they end up becoming targets of interest for our enemy.
As long as no harm comes to our territories based off of these disguises, then I see no need to worry.
As you can tell, we have no intention or desire to allow harm to come to your people. If I did, I wouldn't have stayed to fight off what was summoned.
I have no concerns. I don't believe David would align himself with someone who he would deem as harmful.
Do you think highly of David?
I do. He is one of my best subjects.
You refer to him as a subject. Well, what does that truly mean?
More specifically, experiment.
Was it you who gave him the designation 7?
Negative. David had that designation long ago. He had previously operated within the Federation. They were the ones who had provided him with this designation.
Very well then. I was unsure, as I am aware a little bit of Ignis Metals and their past. I have been around when people who usually utilized them was around, so.
I see.
Repeat that for me one more time, if you will. You called David an experiment.
This is correct. Many years ago, David had understood my relations to these enigmatic metals. I had been supplied these metals by the second hand at the time to the Purple Lotus, Mr. Chow. Chow wanted me to perform experimentation on these metals, to produce them again, so he could utilize them, perhaps for the Lotus or his own personal means. I had obliged him with this, as this data was valuable. David had approached me several years after this occurrence had happened, requesting the ability to gauge, well, to make himself stronger, to put it simple. He had advised, and I quote, "I would like you to make me stronger using whatever means necessary, and in return you may experiment on me in whatever ways you wish." So I had provided him with his request, and in exchange I had performed checkups on him to check on the status of his evolutions. Unfortunately, the metals that he was experimented on were a prototype, we will say, unfinished. Due to this, there were several drawbacks that had occurred. I made him aware of this before experimenting on him. He stated, "Do it."
Thank you.
Of course.
As I mentioned, Master Zarkon is someone who holds David in high regard as well. And so, his knowledge will most likely help them better protect David in the future.
Indeed.
Now, I know that I've done a lot of talking, but is there any questions beyond what I've already provided that you wish to ask?
Simple curiosity, more directed towards Zarkon. Your body,
Of course.
do you feel pain? Whether it be mental, emotional,
Every day
etc.
of my life.
More specifically, perhaps do you feel your emotions are adjusted due to the metals that comprise your body?
There are many factors. But I will always keep myself calm.
I see. Very good. How does this thing work? Do I simply speak into it?
Sir. Yes, effectively, you have an intention to speak with me, and with that intention, it will transmit what you are saying. If you do not wish to transmit certain information, it will not do it. It is not conscious, but it is subconscious, so it is aware of the user's intentions.
Interesting. I'm not very familiar with magics. I appreciate the form of communication. This will be most valuable.
Yes, it is something unique to my people, and difficult to recreate. But that is why I have provided it. Should, for whatever reason, you lose access to it, I should be able to not only recover it, but anyone who may or may not come across it will be unable to utilize it. Like I said, it is subconscious, and thus able to be aware of whoever is using it. You can consider it an extension of myself, though I cannot see or hear from it without permission.
I see. I do not believe I have any further questions as to this particular subject. I will allow 337 to ask anything further, should they deem it necessary.
one inquiry of the sort. Does simply having the knowledge pertain to a risk, or is it speaking it, like was in the letter, that triggers these attacks?
As I mentioned earlier, simply having it as a thought in your head, a conscious thought about it, or even subconscious, can cause these clocks to form. It's an incredibly dangerous cognito hazard, which is why in the world I've done everything that I can to withhold as much of that information, not due to lack of trust, but more of the fact of the less you know, the safer you are.
I see. In that case, I will need to go over some of the memory banks of a few of our droids to make absolutely certain things are purged.
This will most likely be very good. I know in the coming days we will be manufacturing certain devices to possibly assist these locations who are under threat in protecting them from these attacks. I will be working to move forward to replicating one for your own location.
Very good.
Now, I will state that the creation of these objects takes time, and thus it may not be provided at any time in the immediate, which is why we will maintain a vigil, if you do not mind, at your location.
You have already done so with or without my permission, so at this point there is no point in asking that question. I imagine you will continue to do so either way.
I do want to at least be rather forward on that. I merely did so without your permission because we had yet to have a formal conversation.
For safety,
And
of course.
having a formal conversation, yes.
In addition,
Of
it
course.
is in your best interest. It is for your safety, after all.
Indeed. Granted, I would say this. Should for whatever reason you wish them to stop being there, I would respect your wishes.
Very well. At this point it seems an alliance will be necessary.
Of course.
I do believe this will conclude the meeting.
Right. It certainly seems so.
Very well.
Further orders will be relayed in due time. For now, we simply focus on getting back home.
For now, while we are in an area where it is safe to discuss these things, 337, perhaps it would be best to go a bit against Master Red's rules of free will and wipe the droids that pertain to Maltus Palace's staff's memory of that night. For safety, of course. I will take the blame.
Very well, sir. And I assure you, the security footage has already been scrubbed from all of our main databanks. The only ones with such footage right now are myself and you.
Very good. Wipe that from your memory as well. Thank you.
I will.
We may now leave, unless there is anything further you wish to bring up while we go.
Not in my personal opinion. Do you have any more questions for our guest, Zarkon?
No questions, but a word of advice, Mr. IG. A long time ago, there was a dark entity. I asked it to make me stronger. After it was done, I wished that he would have denied me that request. Make sure when someone asks you again, you deny them.
Very well. This will be noted.
Thank you.
With that said, I suppose we can be on our way.
That was something.
Still functional. Onwards in.
This place gives me the creeps. I still don't trust him.
That may have to do with the fact that it's not a desert, I'd imagine.
I don't know. You see the door? Yeah, I don't know. It's staring right through me.
I don't know about you, but I felt a little, just a smidge insulted that that was, you know, an actual palace, and Malthus is, you know, not.
Well, not everything's going on. By that. Perhaps we'll be in a better financial situation after this debacle's dealt with.
Did you catch that sick groan at the back, though? Who do you think sits in that?
That's a good question.
That must have gone up at least 30 feet. Ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. Someone with 30-foot tall legs, I guess.
I just had the realization of something. You and your companion are fully synthetic, aren't you? Correct?
This is correct.
I will need to connect you to the time flow, otherwise, due to the properties of this realm, you would find that your data banks would be reset to their original state. It's simply a...
Oh dear.
Yes, it is simply a quality of this place.
That doesn't sound good.
I suppose I have no choice then.
Well, unless you want to completely do our whole meeting all over again. As you proceed through the portal,
Patience, trooper.
it will properly retain your memory.
Very good. I suppose it goes without saying, but let us not speak of this particular meeting outside of this location.
Understood. Understood, of course. Fucking bullshit. Had to go AFK just for a few seconds and my stuff started acting up.
He's way to you sometimes, I'm afraid.
I'm gonna have to watch your stream. So I know what was talked about.
Oh, my knees, my aching knees.
Yeah, I know, whenever you stand up so fucking straight, it's like, ah!
I need to sit down.
Well, I enjoyed that.
How's
And also
David
kinda need to
doing?
Put, a message in the main character staff comms about
He was
the new orders.
sleeping last time, I said.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, actually,
Soldier is going to be very unhappy if you scrub his memory.
he's not going to tell you. If you're okay with that, Cyclops, we're essentially going to have a scenario. We're not going to do it in character. We're going to do it out of character. We're effectively routine maintenance, in which case it's going to get scrubbed. And
Yeah.
If
Well,
you
looks
don't
like
want,
it's gonna have to. So.
if you don't want to do that,
No
we
choice.
don't. I mean, we don't have to do that. I want to take
No,
away
no,
player
let's do it.
agency
If
too
we want
much.
to sort out
Okay.
something else, it's...
Okay.
but-
I want to take
If
away player agency.
anything, that lends a little extra credence because last time me and Harry were like, I told you about this. We were talking about like, oh, nothing important happened except the incident to Glowstick, and then we were just like, well, what incident? There was no incident. Whenever he asked about it, now we can actually completely deny
Yeah.
it. We never talked to you about an incident.
Yeah,
What are you talking
yeah.
about?
It'll be interesting if that's progressed, because then Slugger could be like, "Wait a second, something's happening. Wait, what do we? Why can't I remember something?" Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Hey,
Good
Goose,
stuff. Yes.
Talking to him.
If you want to continue, we can.
Okay. Well, you want me to play David or what?
I mean, I have the Corvus stuff ready.
Okay, sure, we can do that. Question. The crystal that you gave me, is that the same situation as all the other crystals, or is it limited to just you?
That's not the icy crystal channel. That
So I
is
can't
one
just say
directly
test
to
in
me.
the IC crystal channel. Damn it!
That would be funny. That would be extremely funny.
Because the last thing I need IG is someone going and running their mouth in there.
Yeah, yeah, and IG just being like, documented.
That's why I was sitting there while I was giving to you. It's like, I gotta make sure I phrase this appropriately, so that way it's not the one that...
You did say it was connected, but it sounded like it was still related, so I just wanted to double check to make sure it's just you. Just directly connected to you.
Yeah.
I have some ideas that I want to run by you related to today's mission, that I don't want to run it by you on stream because spoilers.
It's for dancing. You put your tracker.
Today's, not mission, I meant a meeting. Did I say mission? I meant meeting.
Yeah.
Relating to today's meeting.
I got what you meant.
I will say, one thing...
You feel so well. Yeah.
One thing 337 would mention to IG is the if possible, the possibility of upping our own forces, which could culminate in the idea of getting the ATTE if we can find the model for it.
I mean, if you guys want to do it, I'm down to have it happen in
I think Cyclops
character.
was the one to work on it.
All right,
but,
yeah, absolutely.
But in character 337 would just bring up the option of like,
Absolutely.
okay, we've
We
got
actually-
their help,
we
but
have this
still,
fucking
maybe
unit-
the idea of upping our own.
We have this unit that I modeled forever ago that was designed to combat the Knowles mech troopers. I forget what I called it, but it's a fucking mech that I modeled. That
Did you want to try
maybe
and finish it, or?
I need to finish it. Yes, maybe after I get fucking done with what I'm currently done, I'll
We're talking about
texture
bulking
that
up
thing up
the
and
Shecox defenses.
model it up. I have a mech that I modeled forever ago for the
yeah.
Shecox. I haven't done anything with. We have a mech.
Is that the backwards leg one that you showed me?
No. It's frontal. It looks like. It looks like, well, it's BattleTech design stuff, which also could have backwards legs, but no, not that one. That was Knoll, which is another faction. We had a mech that was meant to combat that backwards
The other
backwards
thing
leg
that I
one.
was bringing up is, were you the one working on the ATTE?
I want to work on an ATT, but we don't have the model for it at the moment.
Oh.
Damn.
Okay.
If
Well,
they
we
had
can
told
find
IG the
one.
names
I
of
would say
ravens, including Scarlet, I wonder if
I mean,
IG
there's one in
told Q and
Battlefront
said,
2. We just gotta
once
get
get into the
assets
palace,
for-
he would not reveal that information at all. Damn, we will never know if IG purposely withheld that information or not.
There's several different ways we could do that. I wanted to do it.
If, well, he definitely is not going to tell that. He literally told them that he suspects the reason that the Raven was involved was because of his involvement with David. He knows 100% that one of the reasons, more than likely, that the Raven was there was because of his deal with Scarlet Kane. Because he knows, not 100%. He suspects that he would not know that 100%. No way, no fucking way. But he would definitely suspect that as a possibility. Thus, making his deal with Scarlet Kane very shaky right now.
Okay. So that is
on the roster of shit to do.
Yeah.
Get a big old dude. That thing's gonna have so many fucking blasters. The ATT? No.
It's right above Malta with hallways.fbx.
No fucking way. Am I just stupid? For fuck's sake! He did send it to me.
Wait, you got the model already?
We have an ATT. Guess what, Goose? Guess what? We have a fucking
Hey!
enforcer all our own.
The reason I recommended Spider Eye case because then you don't have to worry about leg controls. That's all automatic.
That's what I wanted to do, though. That's the thing. It would look good with Spider IK. That's the thing. But I feel like if I take a crack at the rotation constraints, I can get a good, like, actually believable looking one.
In my
that's not,
experience,
like,
it looks really
stupid.
stupid.
Horse. I know it does look stupid. I'll give it a go, and if that fails, you can just use Spider IK.
Yeah, you could try both.
I don't know how to set that up, Harry. That would have to be.
It is complicated.
Show me a little tutorial on it, because I saw the video. I'm like,
There's like 8 skeletons in there. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So let's go. They do have a script that does it automatically. I've never used the script.
From my experience, I trust you with it. I saw that you're like up there in the center. That shows you how to do that.
Let me change my stream title.
Like the first 10
Hey, do you use height or arms?
Do I what?
Height or arms?
For
Do you use height or
my full body, I use. Hold on, I'll tell you. I don't remember what it is. I use height for my avatar measurements.
Every time I use height, my arms are like.
Body and arm for
It depends on the type of model. VR Chat IK is based off of your the body's actual proportions, based off of a normal human's proportions. So if your proportions, if your legs are if your arms are too long, like sometimes they'll do kind of like this whenever you lay them flat. If your legs are too long, sometimes they'll kind of be stick-like. It's a lot better than it used to be, but yeah, there's
going to be
yeah.
Still slow to add it anyways because I'm slow.
That's okay. Yeah, it's just straight up the FBX and texture for this exact model.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh my god.
I could do my group.
That is up to you.
Alright, let me tell these guys we're gonna do a thingy dingy and then we can do it when you're ready, okay?
We're gonna do a team.
What? Oh no, we're gonna do another scene here. We're gonna do another scene here that we had prepped on Sunday, I think, but things happened, so we had to push it back. But
fair enough.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Thank you guys so much.
Of course.
I really appreciate
Just
it.
the lighting on your stripes
It was really cool.
No, I completely redid the texture.
Yes. Good seeing you too, Miku.
Can't really see it properly in this world, but he looks so much nicer.
Yeah,
now
sure.
than
Do you
Alex.
take?
I can already tell.
Or do you take?
I
Do
leaned
you
into
take?
the industrial aspect of him by giving him like the bright, heavy machinery.
Oh, I don't know which one it is. Is it this? Oh, no, not that one. Damn it, not that one. Not that one. This one. This one. Oh!
He's got security on that. Stand clear on this leg to be like heavy equipment.
Fuck, I have my index finger.
We can go if we want.
Right, we're gonna do a thingy dingy. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Pocket. Nice meeting you, dude. Hope to see you around. I really appreciate you guys. Bye, Miku. Thank you so much.
Have fun with your scene.
We will. If there's time after, I'll hop in and say hi to you guys.
Alright, I will probably see you next HR lobby, probably.
For sure. Actually, I gotta piss real quick, and then we can start. I'm sorry, I gotta pee real quick. Oh, I gotta pee.
Not gonna lie, I'm so glad that my wife got home with food because I know that if I didn't have food in my system, I was going to be blanking so hard that entire fucking meeting.
Yeah.
I can't think for shit whenever I'm hungry.
Me neither.
Hey, Veer. Veer's in my chat.
Are you excited to meet Corvus?
I'm so excited.
Oh boy, 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 oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Sometimes life is cock and ball torture
Without the cock and balls.
Yeah. I'm just preloading the model for you guys.
Alrighty, I will go to my sleeping bag bed and prepare for whatever is gonna happen. Cool?
Good.
Alright, see you, goodbye. Goodbye. Okay. See you later, fellas. Or see you later, X. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Hope you enjoyed the wacky.
Also make sure to reset your music stuff to default and everything.
I just did.
Okay.
Master Zarkon, it's good to see you.
It's been a bit, hasn't it?
It has.
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. How was your journey?
It was immaculate.
I can imagine.
And yours will begin soon.
Oh.
I figured it out.
Really? That quickly?
Indeed. We'll get to that. How about we step down first?
Yes, let us do that. I'm all right. Ship shape.
Ship shape, eh? I see.
If there's ever anything that you want to talk about, let me know, okay?
My nightmares are getting worse. and I'm
Yes.
having trouble distinguishing reality from fiction now.
I see.
Thank you, I guess.
I'm just glad that after what I sensed, your emotions were filled with distress on a level that I've never sensed from you in quite some time.
I don't think I've experienced anything like that since my last evolution.
My suggestion to you. I know that in these situations, it's most likely difficult. But training your mind to recognize a symbol within your dreams usually helps you realize if it is a dream or not.
I know. Even if it isn't a dream or not, it is still very, very painful. Askew. I am,
of course,
used to these things, unfortunately, due to my body. Not disregarding anything you stated, by the way. I appreciate it very much. It's just... even if it's fake, seeing friends die and family die is not easy.
If he wasn't an asshole, I'm pretty sure you and Sachi could have a long conversation about that. The Aether did the same to his mind when he was imprisoned there. That's largely why, when he returned, he still wasn't himself. For a large portion of it, he thought he was still there. That it was all of this was still just a dream to him.
Him and I had conversations about that.
That being said, the mind is still a place that I have knowledge of. Should you try to call out to me, I can try to be by your side.
I would appreciate that.
I will say that as you witnessed the other day, when I tried to assist with what Master Utsa was doing to Ethereal, it still pushed me away. I cannot promise you anything. But there is very little things that can tell me no. When I put my mind to it, that is. Right.
Oh, Master David. Mr. IG was here just a couple of hours ago.
I'm glad I missed that meeting then.
It did go well, though.
Anything in particular I need to be aware of?
Well, he still retains a lot of the information that you provided him when you had spoke with him previously. So
surprised if he
was aware that Nomad was a champion and such. But he seemed largely... well, he definitely acted just how you expected him to act. Friendly, but also clearly wanting to learn more. One way or another. That being said, we do, after that meeting, have a formal alliance with him.
Oh.
I provided him a line of communication between him and myself. Not like the typical crystals, though. Just out of safety.
No, very good, jolly good. He's a very curious being, and he likes to get his hands in things he shouldn't.
Yes, we noted how he referred to you more as an experiment than a person.
Yes.
I did not appreciate that part.
I'm familiar, very familiar with his phrasing. Try not to think too far down on him for it.
No worries, Master David. I am a calm soul.
He's a blunt android who has no soul, so he speaks his mind.
Understood. Well then,
right.
I suppose...
Actually said... that you had spoken with Corvus. I assumed that means that he has welcomed us.
Indeed. But before I go any further into detail, I've been quite missing the ride with the helicopter.
Oh my goodness. He's just going to go for a ride, and then we can have our conversations with him when we get to the bottom, Miss Q.
Of course, of course. Now let's see if my ability to fly works with me today.
Oh.
Nope. It does not.
So the stairs.
And I will be taking the shortcut.
I will.
No, the Q hole.
Oh, the Q hole. I
I'll
see.
meet you down there.
See you down.
That was fun.
Not the prettiest of landings.
This is where you learned his name, isn't it?
How did you know that? Did he tell you?
He did.
Huh. Fascinating.
All right. Now I will do the easy part. And I suppose you will do the hard one. I hope it will be easier for you than I make it out to be, but we'll see.
Okay.
Anyways, His words were, find the place of your very beginning and light the incense with your very own cosmic energy.
My. Very well.
That is all.
Wouldn't be the first time he's made me wait to do something special.
Are you wanting me to you turned and looked at me as if you wanted to hint?
No, I was just thinking.
Good luck, Master David. He's waiting for you.
Is there anything you would like to know?
Is he someone that I should be respectful, or can I consider him an equal?
I've never seen the man fight, so I don't know in terms of power. But he was the first
When I say
warden.
equal, I meant personality.
Yes, he's a gentle man. Very caring soul. Someone who listens to every single story that is said at the core. And, he has an aura about him of, well, calmness. The first time I was in his presence, immediately a wave of peace wove over me. During a very chaotic time. It was unexpected. But I needed that.
If there's anything that I have sensed while I'm in there, it is definitely that. Ultimately, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't have a faux pas with how I normally act, so...
I mean, he is the first warden, and he has trained many a pupil. I'm sure he's very akin to your chaotic nature, based off of some of the other people he's trained in the past.
Fair enough. I just didn't know if he would take slight to me, viewing him as a friend, than as the first warden.
I don't see why he would think slight of you at all. After all, I'm sure he already knows everything you're doing for Heaven's Reach. So.
Of course. I just wanted to be careful. Now, where is this, your beginning? Because I'm not sure there's any incense at the core, which is where this form's beginning came.
Very true.
Actually, thinking about it, there's only one place that I know that there is incense.
My beginning. Well, I do still have that object that he gave me a very long time ago.
You mean the clock?
It allowed me to traverse time here in Heaven's Reach, just never really quite figured out how to fully control it.
Did you have any, training in the cave?
I've trained a lot of times in the cave.
Because that's the only place that I know that there's an incense burner.
No. Yes, actually, yes. The day that I met him, he appeared to me in the cave. It wasn't him, it was a very frightening tear in whatever universal apparition I was experiencing, but that would make sense, actually, very much so. Or we're overthinking this and we need to just walk up to the core and have a conversation. Then, but let's give it a shot, shall we?
I think if that was the case, then he wouldn't have given you a riddle.
Indeed, and this wouldn't be the first time he has had me, well, trying to find things myself before revealing conversations to me. Roughly around here was where the rift would have been whenever I was in my vision. And if I'm correct, the incense burner is back a ways.
Is that statue always been...
Not sure, actually. I don't go down here as often as I used to. Higgs and Lerock have been here quite a bit. Lerock, I think, has decided to make this a portion of his home.
Yeah, I know that Lerock typically sleeps somewhere down here.
Yep.
But it seems that we weren't overthinking it whatsoever.
Jolly good, Miss Q. I suppose. Let us...
Well? Oh. Well, this is absolutely beautiful. Incredible. I'm speechless.
Hello, my friend.
who
It's
told
been
me.
a long time.
I thought I would never get the opportunity to see you again. I am most grateful.
And so am I. Let me see you. You have grown quite a bit. And proud. You walked tall.
Thank you.
Hello, Lady Q. Welcome to my garden.
And a beautiful one it is.
I think
It is finally glad to finally meet the one who Lady Riza trusted so much.
This is where I listen to your stories. All of them. Please. Take a seat.
If I may ask, where did the roads lead?
Every coin has two sides. When you look at this place, what does it remind you of?
The memorial.
Indeed. I walk through Heaven's Reach by different means. And there's a very thin line in which we can interact.
So you have been around outside of the cordon.
Unfortunately, no. But within the core, I can travel through Heaven's Reach.
I guess my phrasing was off. I'm guessing I would better say that you can hear things beyond just within the core.
That I can.
But I'm dying to ask. I am sure David has plenty of questions to ask as he was
I have so
about to
many
say.
questions and I don't know which one to start with, so please, Miss Q, you go ahead.
Is the arena your handiwork?
I'm not sure if I read the questions correctly.
The visage of Riza and the four ravens. Was it you who placed that image there?
Yes, that was me.
That was our theory as well, but... I can't help but wonder if just maybe it was her reaching out.
Everything I do, everything I can do, is a sign of hope.
True hope.
Yes.
Corvus. Something that's been racking on my mind since the day that we met, and it was a question I never got the opportunity to ask. That day, you saw the ravens amongst your comrades eating the bodies while your tower were burned. You took the cloth and you put it on your eyes. You said someone told you, what if I could give you hope? True hope. And you wanted it, and thus you got the wish. Who was that person?
Truth be told, there are some things that even I don't know. But whoever that voice was started it all.
Could it have been one of the gods of your realm?
Perhaps. I do not remember anyone showing as much dedication to the craft of hope as I did. Perhaps the heavens saw something within me and spoke to me. But I can only fantasize, imagine. Who knows if I will ever truly know?
Maybe one day when this is all over, You'll find out that answer.
Maybe.
In the past few days, or weeks, however as long it's been, I've recounted the tale of beginning quite a bit to some people. I know the story, for the most part, but I like to hear how you would phrase it. Why did you build the tower? Before it became what it is.
There was a child, sweet and innocent. She lost her mother. Her father was a royal guard of King Cassius. He changed. The cruel nature of the king that tainted this man's heart. That poor child was left with nothing. I took care of her. I made sure she wouldn't lose hope. A war broke out. Countless people died. At the time, I was in the forest. I chopped wood for the fireplace. When I came back, I saw her lifeless body on the ground. It hurt. I promised hope. And she died. I needed to do something to redeem myself. Something for the people of our land. Day in, day out, I built the tower with my own bare hands. I wanted to make it right. People all over the globe visited the tower. They saw it as a symbol of hope. But every time they would mention it, I would think of the little girl. That's why I built it. One life can need so much, no matter how small.
On that we can agree. Thank you for telling me it in your words.
It is only fair after you have told me the story of Twilight.
Still very confused as to how Riza put you here, or how you're here in the first place.
That is a question.
I have my thoughts about that. I knew the true person behind the Riza that you know was Jinbin. But the memories that were imprinted on him were the ones of true Riza. Somewhere deep down, I still exist within those memories. So I think, subconsciously, she has created me as the core of this place, without even knowing that.
So is there a possibility that there is a part of you that still lives within the tower?
Yes. I vowed that I will always stay with the people of my land, even after passing.
Why? The wish was made. You're no longer the warden.
Because I love this world, David.
You saw that little girl in Riza, didn't you?
Precisely.
then that all the more makes me believe that how you are here is because, just like the true Risa resides within the tower, a part of you is part of her, and it carried along with the imprint. Which honestly brings me a little bit of solace that maybe somewhere deep down, all of the suffering that one is currently feeling, but there's still some solace that she can have. Even if she doesn't see it while she's conscious.
Things are accelerating. Now that Risa is not here anymore. Gears are moving. Bridges are forming. It is only a matter of time until we meet the end.
Yes.
Would you know if Risa never merged with her true self? I probably shouldn't ask this because I don't know if I want to know the answer, but are those memories gone?
They are not.
How do you know? Hans, would you fucking stop? God damn it.
Because they're here.
With you?
The body.
When people die in heaven's reach,
I'm taking that from you. Go get another toy.
memories don't just vanish. They have to go somewhere. All of them are stored in the memory core of this place.
There's a memory vault here as well. Just like it exists in the in-between.
Yes.
Which means that the day that we do proceed down there, we'll need to take it with us.
Yes.
But this also means when Jin Bin arrived back at the tower, the memories were not kept with them, and thus the true Risa doesn't know yet.
That I can't tell. But I do know what we have here in this place.
I am very happy to hear that.
Soon, I will grant you access to the memory core. But be patient.
patient for quite some time. Far from me to expect anything of you. But it would be remiss of me to not ask. Is there anything that you could possibly do for dear Hope? To give her a little bit more comfort? She never truly had a chance to say goodbye to her mother.
I can. And I will. In due time.
Thank you. That's the most that I could ever ask of you. You've already done so much for everyone here. After all, it is your home, which makes sure that we are safe from the threats that exist just outside our barriers. We all owe you so much.
You don't. All I ask is that you succeed on your journey.
That's a promise. I heard a voice of her one day on the battlefield. She said to me, "Let's make a promise that we are friends forever." I plan to keep that promise. I would endure the endless beyond if it was required of me, to see her safe and to see this tragedy that has happened. Correct.
Correct.
What of the other champions? Zarkon said they're all here.
They are.
What?
Yes.
Somewhere in Evan's reach. They're walking about, unable to hear your voices.
The memories are here. Just like Zarkon.
Yes. Zarkon saw himself in David. That is why he chose to take on this journey with you. The other champions that are here still have no connection to anyone.
They said it themselves. All of us combined were the perfect representations of what they were. Gormander, Nomad, all of us.
You remember?
I do.
Do you see it now, David? See why you, the champions, are so important to her. Deep down, she knows. You, Nomad, Paddy, Higgs, Ion, Clink, Ares, Calcifer, and even Gormander are just like us. Thousands of years later. The perfect condition to break the chain once more.
I remember.
Who was that?
Ravis.
Quite interesting to hear their voice, not as a towering four-armed giant raven. Which means that if what they said is true, if the champions were to truly look, there's a good chance that they could find strength in one of the champions of the past within them.
It is possible. David is the best example.
I think I have a good idea of how, when we get to the tower, of how you all can learn to ascend it. Once we get to the tower, we're still going to have to go through all 8 levels. And who better to teach than the memories that are stored here?
That requires all of us to get a connection with each other. I don't know how the others would do that. I don't know if someone would even be willing.
Even but one more would make your chances all the better in my eyes.
No, I agree.
I did have a conversation with young Miss Patty the other day. Imperial had conveyed the importance of everything to her. And for the first time in her eyes, I actually saw the resolve to walk the path once more when the time comes. Gormunter has returned. And if we can have Paddy do the same. And perhaps we need not worry. But I know that is but a dream. One that we will have to work to see fulfilled. Should it be able to.
Indeed.
Can I ask a question? About the first wish. How is it that you still remember when Riza herself could not?
Because I granted it.
You are the first wish. Essentially. We know Riza is the one who used the wish illegally. But if she used it, who was the one who granted it? Was it by her power? Did she grant it to herself?
It is possible.
Which means it's possible that the true Riza still remembers everything that was wiped away.
Yes.
Which means she could possibly still remember who her daughter is. Everything seems so complex even for an entity like me. Wait. By all technical definition, if what Riza told me about Heaven's Reach is true, Calcifer died within Heaven's Reach, in the white plane that was there.
his memories too, I hear.
Which means there's a possibility that is how we opened a doorway. It might carry his name.
Yes.
I can tell you that if I was to simply blink out of existence right now, this conversation has been more than uplifting to my spirit.
What you say is that I was able to give you hope.
You still got it.
Wonderful.
If that's one thing that I always try to remember, and the reason that I not only visit the memorial, but also the core, is to recall the words that you yourself said on the day that hope was born. Remember, Risa, there is always hope.
It's true.
It really is.
In here.
Anyways, I've quite dominated this conversation. Dave, please, don't let me do so.
How do you retain that hope? You witnessed every single one of your comrades burn, eaten by ravens. You've created a tower that was designed for hope that was burned, recreated by someone else who took your mantle. You've witnessed hundreds of champions die and be born anew, forced to live out the rest of their lives connected to that tower that you created. Your warden doesn't even remember who you are, and you still live there amongst them. How do you keep that hope going? I'm sorry for being so blunt, sir.
Because it's not about me. It never was about me, and it never will be. The world will continue without me. But as long as I can see it grow, my hope remains unshattered.
I don't understand.
Perhaps one day you will, David. Right now, you and I, we see the world with different eyes. But if you look closely, one day you can see it as clear as daylight.
Riza once told me a long time ago, if I were to walk this path, I'd start seeing things differently. I guess I'm still learning. From my perspective, though, I mean, if all that had happened to me, I would have... Truth be told, Corvus, I could not be standing in your shoes. I am jealous of your strength. I would have given up.
All of us find our unique spot in this world. The path that was designed for us. You have found yours. And in that one, you remain to walk tall.
You need not be like Corvus. You need only be like David.
One day, someone will walk up to you and ask you, David, how do you do it? Your body was modified. Your wife died. You lost friends. Say, David, just how do you do it? And what do you tell them?
I cannot change what has happened. I can only try to fix the futures. But looking back is not going to do me any good.
So what you're saying is that you just need to build your own tower. And at the top of it, find your new hope.
Truth be told, Miss Q, I've been on the path of redemption for a very long time. And, well, after all the other attempts at that hope, the tower has really been the only one that truly seems right.
It's like snow.
I am glad that today I am able to share this with you. The very place where I sit down and listen to your voices, eagerly speaking to me, regardless of not receiving a response.
There are a lot of people who share a bond with you, despite not receiving a conversation back, that come and go from Heaven's Reach.
And they are all doing very well in their own way.
There is one thing that my people do that I have always felt is the most important thing for us to do. To remember. And verily I promise you, so long as I live, I will remember you. That not only did you once live, but that you continue to live inside the hearts of so many other people whose lives you've touched, even without meeting them. In my eyes,
I thank you.
In my eyes, you have more than atoned for what you blamed yourself for.
Today, I know that little girl is in a better place. Back then, I did not understand how it could happen. Now I do.
What was her name?
Sia.
Sia.
Mind spelling that for me?
C-I-E-L.
Sia. That she too shall be remembered by my people. Well, I know you probably don't want to, but I don't believe that this meeting is forever. That being said, I believe that I will go on ahead. Because I think it's only appropriate for you to have a moment with him alone.
Very well.
Thank you for everything, Corvus. Your words and stories will forever inspire me.
It was a
And I'll be
pleasure.
sure to share more in the future.
Thank you.
I'll see you back at home, darling.
Very well. I needed this very much.
Zaka, he cares deeply about you.
He does. He's a very good companion, and I'm very happy to have him by my side. Being
David.
Yes.
Don't tell him that I said this to you, but I was not able to open this meeting Zarkan went through a trial for you to make this possible.
What did he do?
He faced the First Warden once more.
He fought you?
He did.
He beat you?
He did.
How? And why?
Because the old methods still apply here. He earned a wish.
Are you telling me that I can make a wish right here?
You could.
To stop all of this?
You could.
And why did he make... What?
Remember when I told you there are more things than meets the eye?
Then why don't...
Sometimes things seem incredibly easy. But are they really? Is this how our story will unfold?
I guess there's still more things that I don't understand. I understand your words. I do. But it just... Well, let's just say this isn't something I'm going to share with anyone. If they knew, they could just come here and make a wish. I don't understand. And I also don't bloody understand why he would do that for me. He has a lot he would want. Why would he do that for me? Just for a meeting. And more importantly, bloody
Because he
well how.
understands. David, you are the one wearing the cloth. Alio.
I have a lot of pressure on me these days. And, well, not only that, but You yourself stated your hope lies in me, and that's, well, a lot. I'm supposed to be the one to climb the tower and change all this. I've never really been a leader. This is the first time I've ever actually truly, properly led something. And they look up to me, Corvus. I can't waver. I have to walk tall, as you have stated, and I am. But it is very hard. That's not to say that my hope wavers, no. Well, at least the objective. I'll climb that tower even if I'm the only one to do it, and I know that's not true. I know I won't be alone. Someone...
You're right. It is hard. I never said it was easy. All the things that you listed off about me and the things I've been through. Been just as hard. But I also see the future in a brighter light. And so will you.
That is what I want. It's effectively my wish. To let everyone move on. And for the tower story to end. To let you move on and everyone else. Riza. To that, I would truly be redeemed. This is beautiful.
It is. David, before you go, you understand, even though a wish can be made here, this is not the place where our story will find an end.
I know that. And that's why I'm not going to tell anyone that. Because I know they'd react aggressively.
I would like to give you something. Because who knows when we are going to see each other again. open your hand.
What is it?
When the time comes and you find yourself overwhelmed, use it.
I assume this is a one-time deal.
That is for you to find out.
Still speaking to me in some mysteries, eh?
Good old Corvus.
Indeed. If they can't find Solus and the other champions, do you think somehow I'd be able to give them some sliver of that?
I will wait for the step.
How the bloody hell was Zarkon able to beat you?
Because I wanted him to.
Of course.
Speaking to you again was a big joy for me.
Me too. Honestly,
I can sense it, David. I know that you don't want to leave.
I don't. I could stay here forever, Corvus.
There's someone else waiting for you.
I know. And she needs me. She is our hope after all.
Walk tall, David.
Always.
I wish you the best on your choice.
Could you see me out, please?
I would love to. Before I forget, I picked a flower for hope.
I'll make sure she receives it.
Thank you, my friend.
This is not the last time we will be seeing each other, Master Corvus.
Surprise me again.
No goodbyes. Just prolonged hellos.
See you later.
Indeed. See you later. I don't think that's supposed to be a thing. Make it make it nighttime, chat. Hold on a sec. Make it nighttime.
We're back already. It's like a sweet little dream.
I regret ever creating a crystal.
Artemis here? Are you alright?
Just people being children over the communications, that's all. I'm just going to ignore it.
I see. Well, Mr. David? Ready to prepare for training?
Yes, champions will be here, I suppose, within a matter of days. So, I suppose it is time for another bout.
Jolly good.
Right, I am going to go drown myself in a bucket of ice cream. Talk to you later.
Have fun.
See you later, Misty. Are you okay, Mr. David?
I'm more than okay, Master Zarkon. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Say, you didn't happen to come across any other old champions by any chance? And they totally didn't say anything embarrassing about me at all?
Unfortunately, no. According to Corvus, they were all roaming around Heaven's Reach, connected to the core. I sadly didn't get to meet him.
Jolly good. Because I don't do embarrassing things.
Truly, I am blessed.
triangles? What?
Thanks for the 25 triangles.
Changing training location. Alright. I can roll with it. Cave? Alright.
Are you feeling alright, Master Zargon?
Of course. Been a while since I've been here.
Did you want to have a spar? Is that what you're implying?
Not in the immediate. I thought we're just preparing things for the champions training.
Well, you know how long it's going to take for said champions to get here. Considering how time operates, we have more than enough time to plan for that. Is there something you had in mind that you perhaps wanted to express now, though?
Just a uniform.
Huh. I see. I was just reminiscing. Where it all started. I used to meditate all the time in these caves before I even really knew how to properly do it. Hamsky kind of pushed me in the direction I needed to go, and with his guidance, albeit minimal, I was able to get myself started. I'd come here because it was peaceful. Very few of the others would visit here. This was my solace before I was fully staying at Heaven's Reach. It was quiet here. Bit of a recluse I was.
I see. So this is your place of your beginning.
Indeed. Zarkon. Your cloak. Have you always worn that? I mean, before Heaven's Reach.
What exactly are you referring to?
Yes or no?
Is this a test?
No, it's not.
Am I being tested?
Not at all.
Did you hear snickering?
I did.
Ignore me, darling. Guys, don't worry about me.
Okay. The Q goes in the Q hole.
That is correct.
You got stuck in the Q hole.
The Q got stuck in the Q. Do you need Step Bro to step in and help you out?
No. I'm gone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Lady Q.
It's not a test.
Alright. By cloak, what do you mean? My
Your whole
clothes?
entourage. This, that, around your waist.
I see. No, I've always been wearing that.
Before Heaven's Reach?
Yes.
I was just thinking of how it reminds me of my own battle attire.
It does.
Hmm.
Master David, I hope you feel better now.
Much, much better. Thank you.
Jolly good.
Jolly good. I needed that. I'm glad others have been finding solace in this place.
Me too. We've come a long way.
Yeah. Lots of conversations with Nomad down here. Alright, very well. I suppose I can program the computer for a bunch of random components.
Good idea. Day's over. Well, Master David, I suppose while you're taking care of the computer things, I might rest for a little minute. It's, been quite a lot of talking in there.
I can imagine.
I'm looking forward to the next couple of days.
Me too.
Good night.
Night.
Oh no, I dropped my card. Oops.
I was just about to say, can I just respawn and drop my card now? Oh! Oh no, I dropped my card.
It just fell out of my pocket.